Paymon who?
Mata Heyday.
Paymon Lata Heyday. Who is he?
Never paid taxes in 30 years. Fought the U.S. tax court and won.
See, I believe our rights come from God, not from government.
Hello to my fellow truth and freedom seekers. I am Paymon Montahede, the president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. And for over 30 years, I have not found and paid any federal income or payroll taxes, and teaching Americans like you to do the same and be free. In this presentation, I'll have the cover topic why and how filing a tax return can land you in prison and how you can avoid this fate legally and safely. It's exciting, a presentation that I'm really looking forward to giving to you because I know you're going to feel very liberated by watching this, okay? So here we go. You know, step 2 of our 7 steps to free yourself of IRS deception, which leads to fear. With the fear they rob and control you. To be free of all that is stop filing 1040 income tax confession forms. That's right. See, you were deceived by your accountant attorney to sign an IRS 1040 income tax confession trap form. And you put the noose around your neck. How? Well, when you file and sign a 1040 income tax confession trap form, you state under oath that you owe the IRS money. That's right. You owe the IRS nothing legally until you put that signature on that 1040 form. That's how the law works. Now, and this is how you give IRS the power to audit you, empty your bank account, steal your crypto, steal your property, and put you in prison. Yep. So let's go over a little bit of this situation more detail. You see, I know like most Americans, you probably believe that filing an IRS 1040 income tax form is a safe way to avoid the IRS audit and keep yourself out of prison. See, you unwittingly increase your chance of going to prison for taxes when you sign under penalties of perjury that your 1040 form is true, correct, and complete. Of course, this has been done because you were told all your life by the corrupt major media and your accountant, bookkeeper, CPA, who doesn't know the law, who pretends to know the law, that hire me and pay me. File a tax return with me and you'll be safe. That's the opposite of the truth. Here, I'll show it to you. Get your 1040 out from the previous years and look at this on your own 1040, okay? Here it is, just like your 1040, okay? The fact is, as you see, the safest way to have the IRS leave you alone is to not file any 1040 income tax confession forms. Here we go. So, again, let me remind you, I'll show you when you sign an IRS Form 1040 income tax confession form, you state under oath that you owe the IRS money. You swear you owe the IRS money. Here's a 1040 form. Did your accountant, CPA, tax attorney ever told you when you sign here? What are you signing? What is the little small tiny font here? You're signing, what does it say? Did you ever bother to read it? Did he tell you what it says? I bet you not. You see, what you're doing is signing it under penalties of perjury. That's right. What does that mean, under penalties of perjury? What's the big deal? It's under oath, folks. You're swearing, like put your hand on the Bible in the court of law to tell the truth. And what it means basically is throw me in prison if everything on this form, which I don't understand, the accountant, CPA, TurboTax, HR Block, my tax attorney told me to sign here. I don't understand it. He's the expert. You're swearing under oath that's all true, correct, and complete. And you will go to prison if there is any mistake. Not the HR Block, not TurboTax, not your bookkeeper, accountant, CPA, enrolled agent, or tax attorney, but You. So, now, on this 1040 form, guess what? On line 37, go get your previous 1040 file, 1040 form. Line 37, you subtract line 33 from line 24, and you state this is the amount you owe. You claim that you owe the IRS this amount. That's right. That's how you end up owing the IRS money, because you under oath said so. IRS does not need to come after you to come after for money. You're saying under oath you owe the IRS money. That's end of story now. You just got to go on, take your bank account, paycheck, assets. There's no negotiating getting out of it, okay? Because they trick you to the very thing that puts a rope around your neck, give it to the IRS. Let's go over this issue a little bit more in detail, okay? Here it is. Bottom line is, this is the way the legal system tax works. When you file a 1040 income tax form or any federal form, you give up your right to the most private and sensitive financial information of the IRS. That's all this private stuff. You tell it to your enemies. The IRS can then use these documents as evidence against you in a court of law, which can then force you to prove all expenses, deductions, and credits that you claimed on your tax form. And if you cannot prove such expenses, deductions, credits, you will end up paying a lot more money to the IRS, or even be sentenced to prison, to lengthy prison terms. That's right. See, you risk being charged with 3 separate tax crimes for each 1040 tax form you file. Here they are. First and foremost, attempting to evade or defeat a tax. Tax evasion, 5 years. Filing of fraudulent and false statements, 3 years. Filing fraudulent return statements or other documents, 1 year. So it all adds up to you risk going to prison for up to 9 years for each year you file a 1040 or any other income tax return. That's right. That's how it is. Again, did your bookkeeper, accountant, CPA, enrolled agent, or tax attorney tell you about this? Warn you before you sign that piece of paper? Of course not. He makes money from you by telling you, trust me, I got my degree in taxation. I know this stuff. Pay me money, I'll protect you from the IRS. I'm the expert. Don't listen to these tax protesters. I'm like, yeah, Freedom Law School, they get you in trouble. People got in trouble for doing this stuff. You know, no. I'll file your taxes to me. Make sure you're safe. See, it's all, they making money off of you folks, okay, by fooling you. So since the IRS usually waits until a taxpayer has filed several years of income tax forms before charging them, this can easily add up to more years in prison than a maximum sentence in many violent criminal laws. That's right. They come out with you for 5 years of tax return, same problem. That's 45 years. A life sentence of going to prison. Now, some of you have crypto, and I'm going to make it a quick thing for you guys. There's a trap for you crypto owners, a crypto trap. I'm going to ask on the front page of the 1040 form, did you in any way at any time during the year, sell, or exchange or otherwise dispose of a cryptocurrency? Yes or no, you must answer. If you say yes, you better be nervous because you put yourself on the IRS crypto audit list. The IRS is hammering crypto tax return filers with audits because the IRS knows how expensive and difficult to figure out the cost basis of your crypto sales or transfer is. So the IRS can tax you an entire gross crypto sales and transfers, hurting you big time. I know, because I'm trying to help some crypto people. It's not easy because they don't have all the records they need properly, with these things sometimes, okay? Now, if you say no, well, guess what? You better be ready to go to prison because you just lied under oath. on the penalty of perjury, which can land you in tax prison for 3 separate tax crimes that you've seen above, including tax evasion, for up to 9 years for every 1040 form on which you lied about not having sold or transferred any cryptocurrency, right? So you better not file. Why do that to yourself, folks? Okay? Now, let's go down a little bit further, and I'm going to tell you something. This situation is so bad, even this former tax court judge, Krupa, when IRS came after her, she refused and failed to defend herself in court because she knows it is so hard, almost nearly impossible to defend a 10 for income tax concession form. She was not an accountant, CPA, lawyer, tax court judge. Here it is. Former tax court judge Diane Krupa. Okay, when the IRS came after her, what did she do? She did not even try to put up a fight in defense. Instead, she pled guilty to reduce her sentence to only 34 months. That's a good deal, because she was looking to go to prison for close to 20 years. That is right. And I'm not making it up. Here's an article about her. Former federal judge and husband sentenced for tax fraud, June 2017. Here's another article, Forbes magazine. Former U.S. tax court Judge Krupa indicted for tax evasion, conspiracy obstruction. She made a deal, did not go to trial. She could say, I know more about tax law than this regular federal district court judge, and I did everything just right. She could have. She's one of the 31 tax court judges in America, expert, but she could have didn't defend her tax return. If Judge Krupa cannot defend her tax return, how can your accountant or tax return do better? He can't. Okay? Now, this guy is Joe Bannister. His website, Agent for Truth. Okay? Here's his website guy. He was a former gun-carrying special agent with the Criminal Investigation Division of the IRS, who became a student of Freedom Law School back in 1997 and published a book exposing the IRS's deception of American people. He quit the IRS in 1999 to expose the IRS's scam on the American people. And he told me way back in the year 1999, whenever at Criminal Investigation Division of the IRS, CID, we wanted to go after somebody, one of the first things that we did as a standard procedure was to request a copy of that person's previously filed tax returns so that we could use that information, the information on those tax returns, against them. Yeah, they use that 1040 forms against you to put you in prison, all of them that you filed. Okay? However, when I wanted to talk to somebody about investigating him, I had to tell him that he had the right to remain silent and give me no information. So why are you giving up information to the IRS on the 1040 forms to let the IRS use against you? You want to stop doing that, brothers and sisters. So that's his website, Agent for Truth. Check out Joe Bannister some more. He's got good videos to educate you. Now this numbers off of IRS's data book. It shows that over 93% of the people that the IRS puts in prison are actually filers. That's right. You know, I was talking to somebody about not filing. He immediately said, oh, I don't want to become a martyr. He thinks if he doesn't file, he'll become a martyr and go to prison. It's the opposite way. When you file, you put the rope around your neck and go to prison. Here's IRS's own numbers that proves it. Look at this, okay? On the top half is all the people the IRS put in prison for taxes, okay, sentenced. On the bottom half is for non-filers only, whichever they are. They were all different documents. I'll put them right here for you to see. Top is everybody. Bottom is non-filers. So the difference between the top and the bottom is filers, okay? So let's look at the numbers a little bit more closely now. On the top right is 2015, 2016, 17, go left, 18, 19, out to 21, okay? Look at the highlighted areas that circled. Number of people sentenced back in 2015, everybody was 3,092, right? But look at the bottom. Non-filers was only 167. The difference between 3,092 and 167, that's right. 2,900 people were all filers that put in prison, almost all of them. Look at the year 2018 here, okay, in the center of the page. 2,111 people put into prison for taxes, but the bottom, only 104 were non-filers. Over 2,000 were all filers. And 2021, same pattern. 1,268, everybody they put in prison, okay? And then at the bottom, less than 100 of them were non-filers, right? Over 1,100 were all filers. The vast majority of people that put in prison, Irish put in prison are people who file those 1040 confession forms because their accountant, CPA, tax authority told them that's a safe thing to do. The opposite of the truth. You've been lied to one more time by the major media, right? For decades, and your experts told you to do these things which are actually hurtful to you. Okay? Let's go down and look at this, okay? You got to know this, folks. The IRS is absolutely reliant on you voluntarily agreeing to be a tax slave by filing a 1040 income tax confession form and admitting you owe the IRS money. Here's former IRS commissioners that agree that the 1040 forms are taxpayer confession forms. From Bloomberg. The article is right from Bloomberg. You can check it out. Click it if you want to. But here's what they say. What's critical here, now this is people that try to raise money for the government, for the deep state, for the swamp. They want more money for the swamp. So their advice is, this is how we're going to get more money out of the American suckers for the deep state and the swamp, right? So here's what they're trying to tell you, how the system really works. What's critical here, that substantially all the revenue increase does not come from IRS audits. See, people think, oh, IRS can audit me. No, they can't. There's way too many people out there. There's about 80 million non-filers. Where does the money come from? Here it is. The money substantially comes from taxpayers when they file their returns, when you confess under oath that you owe the IRS money. They suckered you to do the very thing that makes you weak, that makes them powerful. So what you got to do is stop filing those forms. Later on, I'll show you how to stop income tax withholding from your paycheck so you don't have to file a return to get some of the money back, okay? But watch, at the end of the video, I'll give you that link to that video also, okay? So, now, here, I'll show you the risks and benefits of filing a 1040 tax confession forms, okay? And then I'll give you after that, in detail. Let's go risk of filing 1040 income tax confession forms. Now, this is going to be a little bit detailed, but you got to understand how bad it is to file a 1040 form. Let's go through it together, okay? 1, you give up your right to be silent and not give any information to the government that they can use against you. 2, you sign under oath, penalty of perjury, same as if you were before a judge and jury, that everything on a 1040 income tax confession form is true, correct, and complete. 3, you confess under oath, penalty of perjury, that you have taxable income and no IRS money. 4, you cannot change your mind or appeal your confession that you owe the IRS money. You're stuck with your 1040 confession form. 5, you beg the IRS to accept all your business expenses, deductions, credits, and other breaks that you claim on a 1040 income tax confession form. That's right, the burden of proof is on you. And you give the IRS permission to audit you. And there's more. You put the burden of proof on yourself to prove all of the expenses, deductions, and credits and other breaks that you claimed on your 1040 income tax confession form. Next, you have to hire an accountant, CPA, and or tax attorney and pay them unknown amounts of money to try to keep you from owing the IRS more money. And you may lose the audit and end up owing the IRS more tax penalties and interest. And you tell the IRS where your bank account, crypto investments, home, and other properties are for the IRS to steal. There is more. You hope and pray that your accountant, CPA, or tax lawyers are really good at what they do and can keep the IRS from stealing your money and putting you in prison. Your money and hard work is going to fund the corruption and criminality of Washington, D.C. swamp gangsters. If you lose your audit, you will end up owing the IRS more taxes, penalties, and interest. If the IRS decides to put you in prison, you will have to pay a tax lawyer hundreds of thousands of dollars or more to defend you. And for each and every 1040 income tax confession form that you file, you may be convicted of 3 separate tax crimes and go to prison for up to 9 years. If the IRS decides to put you in prison, you will have to pay a tax lawyer hundreds of thousands of dollars or more to defend you. And if the IRS tries to put you in prison for filing tax returns and there is an error on your 1040 tax form, whether it is the fault of your accountant or tax preparer, you have to prove that the mistake was an inadvertent mistake and not an attempt by you to evade your so-called fair share of taxes. Yep. So now, let's go to the benefits of filing a 1040 tax form. Can you think of any? Only one I can think of. The only benefit I can think of, honestly, is when you get a bank loan, they can make it easier to get a loan, a little bit lower interest rates. To be an interest rate slave, they make it a little bit easier. That's the only benefit of filing tax forms. But look at all the risks you got going against you. Okay? Now, let's look at the the risks of not filing 1040 income tax forms. Okay? Here we go. Risk of not filing tax returns. Well, if you stop filing, I can't think of any risks. I can't think of any risks. There isn't no risk when you start filing. IRS is leaving non-filers alone. That is a fact. In step 3, you see more detail. IRS is not coming after non-filers since 2016. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, let's go to benefits of not filing income tax forms and joining our Restore Freedom plan. If the IRS ever comes after you, Freedom Law School will prepare proper responses, hire CPA or attorneys that may be necessary to defend you, and guarantees that you will stay out of prison. By following the law as written on the government's official legal websites and quadruple checked with your congressman that write the tax laws. If you end up losing a tax case and the IRS takes any of your money from you, Freedom Law School will reimburse you in full. You have none of the risks of filing for income tax confession form, and your money and your hard-earned money, instead of going to fund corruption, waste, and criminality, the Washington, D.C. swamp gangsters, is going toward restoring freedom, justice, peace, and prosperity for all Americans. Yep, folks, it's the way to go. Stop signing those 1040 income tax confession forms. Here's one more thing about those CPA accountants you rely on, your tax attorney you rely on, right? Well, here's a risk when you go rely on those guys, okay? The Internal Revenue Code is so complex, a jungle. Here, you want to see it? Here is the Internal Revenue Code, the entire over 10,000 sections, about 10,000 pages, a bunch of gobbledygook, confusion, tiny font, minutia that no CPA accountant, tax attorney understands it. The regulations are 4 times as big. They don't understand this stuff. They just pretend to understand, to be expert. You pay them, these CPA, the tax attorneys. They don't know what they're doing, folks. Okay? So here it is. It's so complex that many tax specialists disagree about information that should go on your 1040 income tax confession form. By signing under penalty of perjury, you are the one who could go to prison for up to 9 years for each 1040 tax form that they make the mistake on. That's right. Here is an article right here from Money Magazine, okay, that came out in 1988. Applies till today. And it was headlined, Money Magazine, Even seasoned pros are confused this year. Yep. Money asked 50 tax preparers to figure one family's taxes and got 50 different answers. Oh my gosh. Can you believe that? Okay. Which one of those 50 accountants got it right? Okay. Which one of them? You don't know. Why take the risk? Read this article for yourself, okay? How amazing it is that you should not risk going to any of these so-called professionals. The results show that. Okay, here's some of the results I will share with you, okay? The 50 pros computed 50 different amounts of tax due from the family. The bottom lines varied by as much as 50%. Wow. And look at this. In cases the law itself is unclear, the professionals are making up the rules of their own that differ greatly. Because, see, they got different results. You're taking a risk by putting your life and your freedom and your family's safety in the hands of that so-called professional CPA accountant, tax attorney who knows really nothing about law. If he did, he'd know there's no law requiring you, the people of 50 states, to pay any income tax in here. None. Or payroll or self-employment taxes. So why would you trust this ignorant person? Oh, because you've been told to trust the expert. Trust the tax attorney, right? Now, let's continue, folks. What is the solution? Well, at the bottom of this page, I have 2 videos you got to watch on your own why the IRS cannot simply steal your stuff if you know how to challenge them like the IRS. They're leaving non-filers alone, and they cannot just take your stuff. The reason they just take your stuff is because your accountant, CPA, tax attorney doesn't know legal procedures. They do not know legal how to challenge the IRS and tax court. Some attorneys do, but they're very expensive and very incompetent, many of them anyways. So, if you do it right like Freedom Law School does, they cannot just come take your stuff. You have right to due process of law. It takes many years even if we're to lose the case. But Freedom Law School will protect you even from that if it ever becomes an issue for you. Okay? So what you want to do, folks, go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and verify all this. Go through the 7 steps, okay, that we have on our website to free yourself, okay, of the IRS deception, robbery, slavery. Click on the 7 steps that you've done and go through the 7 steps in more detail. You drive around, listen to our videos, at lunch and dinner, put the videos up, and this time watch them. Now, here's what I promised you. You can free yourself from tax withholding on our website. Yes, the link is on our front page under here right. Okay, on the top right, the last on this menu is free yourself from income tax withholding. Stop withholding from your paycheck. If you're a business owner, there's no withholding problem for you. Stop sending the IRS quarterly estimated payments and stop signing tax forms. That's it. If you own a business, stop doing W-4 and requiring from your employees. Stop W-2ing your employees. Stop 1099ing other people, folks. You don't have to do it at all. It's all at freedomlawschool.org for free if you want to educate yourself. Or if you want protection, we'll protect you. But what you got to do is have the spirit of America's founding fathers in you. Yes. If you're like this great men, willing to stand up for freedom, not put your lives at second honor and all your fortune on the line like they did, only a portion of what you would have paid to the IRS anyways. That's all you got to do. Okay, you get to keep the lion's share of it. Join our Restore Freedom Plan. If you are, and I believe you are, one of the great Americans, modern day founding fathers of America, the privilege of 100% guarantees available. If what? If we join hands, not be alone, lone wolf. No, come together. We're much more powerful together. And that's exactly what the Restore Freedom Plan is all about. By doing so, you can enjoy 100% guarantee. When you legally stop filing and pay income taxes, as long as you're a member of our Restore Freedom Plan, Freedom Law School will prevent the IRS from levying your money, or Freedom Law School will reimburse you, and you will not go to tax prison. Plain and simple. And if you love and spread the truth, we will pay you. That's right. We'll pay you 50% of everyone's first year membership. Okay? Bottom line, the plan is very simple. If this is what you pay the IRS, right? Take 70% of that, you keep it. Put 30% of it in the Restore Freedom Plan, like Founding Fathers of America. Come together. You all come together through Freedom Law School. And so there's lots of money in our fund so that if one person comes under attack, everybody else's money can be used to defend that person, keep them free. And if they take your money, if we lose even, we'll reimburse you in full. This is what America's founding fathers did. This is what we need to do, you and me and all American people, to be free. So continue your search for truth at freedomlawschool.org. Folks, this communist socialist system is falling apart from within, okay? But for it to happen, we got to get together. Yes, you can do this stuff for free if you want to on your own. You're welcome to do it, especially if you're low income. But if you're higher income or want to be extra sure that you're safe with the IRS, join the Restore Freedom Plan, because you can take part in having America be free. And you can tell your children and grandchildren, I was there with Donald Trump and Freedom Law School. We took America back from the crooks and criminals and have America be free once again. We had a second American Revolution, but this time, peacefully. I was there. If that's what you want to be part of, the opportunity is there for you, my friend, at freedomlawschool.org. Continue and join our Restore Freedom Plan. Make America be free and have you fight inflation, have money in your pocket right now, live a better life for you and family right now, and America be free at the same time.